She used my credit to secretly book a vacation with another guy, so I froze every account. Now she's stranded abroad while I'm relaxing with zero debt. Hey viewers, before we move on to the video, please make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button if you want to see more stories like this. Thanks. I never thought I'd be the guy writing one of these stories. Honestly, I always saw myself as pretty boring in the best way possible. I work a steady job, I pay my bills on time, I don't carry debt, and I actually enjoy checking my credit score once in a while. Not exactly movie star exciting, but it gave me peace. That was me when I met Lena. She was the opposite. Spontaneous, impulsive, fun. She had this energy that pulled people in. At first, I loved it. Where I'd usually plan every detail, she'd throw out some wild idea like, let's drive 3 hours to the coast right now and watch the sunrise. And I'd find myself doing it, smiling the whole way. We balanced each other, or at least I thought we did. She made me loosen up, and I made her feel stable. At least, that's what she said in the beginning. Now, Lena wasn't reckless in a dangerous way, but with money. Yeah, let's just say she and I lived in different worlds. She'd buy clothes on Klarna, then complain about minimum payments. She'd DoorDash 3 times a day and then be shocked when her account balance was in the red. Me? I cooked, I packed lunches, I checked statements. It wasn't glamorous, but I never had to worry about overdraft fees or collection calls. And because she knew that, she leaned on me. It started small. She'd forget her card and ask me to cover dinner. Then she'd need a tank of gas until Friday when she got paid. Eventually, it turned into me adding her as an authorized user on one of my credit cards. Not because I wanted to, but because she had a flat tire one night and no way to pay for it. I told myself, we're building a life together. This is what couples do. We'd even talked about saving for a vacation. Something big, something we'd both look forward to. She always sent me TikToks of resorts and beaches with captions like, us soon? And I'd smile, even though I knew we weren't there yet financially. But I believed her excitement was genuine. Looking back, the red flags were there. Like the time she joked to her friends, I've got the boring finance guy to keep me out of jail. Everyone laughed, including me, but it stuck with me. Or when she casually asked if I'd ever co-sign a loan for her just to boost her chances. I thought she just didn't understand how serious that stuff was. I told myself she was young, carefree, and I was the responsible one. Truth was, I was setting myself up to get blindsided. The first time I noticed something off, it didn't scream betrayal. It looked like fraud. I was checking my credit card statement one night, something I did every week like clockwork, when I saw a charge for over $1,200 from an airline. Round-trip tickets. At first, I thought maybe Lena bought something for us and forgot to mention it. She loved the idea of surprising me, though it usually meant ordering takeout I didn't want. But this was different. This was big money. Hey, I called out, walking into the living room where she was scrolling TikTok. Did you use my card for flights? She looked up a little too quickly. Oh, that. Yeah, it's just a work thing. I'm going with a couple friends. Super cheap deal. I didn't think it was a big deal. Work thing. I frowned. Since when does your job fly you anywhere? She rolled her eyes. Not work. Networking. You know, building connections. You don't get it, but it's important for me. I stood there, waiting for her to explain, but she went back to her phone like the conversation was over. That night, I told myself not to overreact. Maybe she just needed a break. Maybe she booked it for us, and she wanted to surprise me later. But a few days later, I got the email. See, the credit card was in my name, so the booking confirmations came to my inbox. 2 tickets. One for her. One for a guy named Eric. I stared at the screen so long I felt sick. My hands were shaking. When I confronted her, she didn't even flinch. Eric's just a friend, she said, leaning against the counter like she was explaining the weather. Friends don't take all-inclusive vacations together on my credit card. I snapped. She actually laughed. God, you're so uptight. It's just a trip. You never take me anywhere. He invited me. I said yes. Stop acting like it's the end of the world. The end of the world? I repeated. You booked a vacation with another man. On my card. She waved her hand like I was being dramatic. Relax. It's not like I'm marrying him. I just want some fun. You're always so predictable. That word hit me harder than I wanted to admit. Predictable. I stared at her, trying to process what I was hearing. So let me get this straight. You used my credit card to fly out with another guy because you think I'm too boring? She crossed her arms. You should be thanking me. At least I didn't ask you to come along and ruin it. That was the moment something in me went still. I didn't yell. I didn't argue. I just stood there, looking at her like I didn't even know who she was anymore. I didn't sleep that night. I lay there next to her while she snored softly, and all I could think about was how casual she'd been. Like stealing from me, lying to me, and flying off with another guy was just a Tuesday. By morning, my decision was made. When she left for work, I pulled out my laptop. I logged into every account she had access to, credit cards, streaming services, even the food delivery app she abused, and I shut them down. Password changes, account freezes, card cancellations. It wasn't about revenge. It was about cutting the cord. When she came home that night, she immediately noticed. What the hell? She shouted, holding her phone. My card got declined when I tried to get gas. I looked up from the couch, calm as a stone. Yeah, I froze the accounts. Her jaw dropped. Are you serious? You can't just do that. They're my accounts. I can do whatever I want. She stomped across the room. I need those for the trip. Eric already booked the hotel. I stared at her. Then Eric can pay for it. Her face twisted. Wow. So this is who you are? Petty. Controlling. You think you can just cut me off like I'm some child? I didn't raise my voice. You used me. You lied to me. And you planned a vacation with another man on my dime. That's not petty. That's me being done. She opened her mouth, then closed it, like she couldn't decide if she wanted to scream or cry. Finally, she hissed, "You'll regret this. No one else is going to put up with how boring you are." I stood up, grabbed the small duffel I'd packed earlier, and walked toward the door. "I'd rather be boring alone than a fool with you," I said quietly. And that was it. No dramatic scene, no fight to the death. Just me walking out, leaving her standing there in our apartment with nothing but her phone and her outrage. I didn't check up on her. I didn't stalk her socials. I didn't even ask mutual friends how she was doing. But information has a way of finding you when people are messy. The first update came from a coworker of hers who also knew me. We weren't close, but she sent me a DM. "Hey, I don't want to stir the pot, but Lena is losing it. She's in Cancun and apparently her cards aren't working. She's been asking everyone to send her money. Did something happen?" I almost laughed. Did something happen? Yeah, something happened. Turns out she went on the trip anyway, convinced I was bluffing. She packed her bags, boarded the flight with Eric, and probably thought she was about to live her best life on my credit. But when she tried to pay for things, reality hit. No working cards. No backup plan. And Eric? From what I heard, he was happy to hang around while she was flashing what looked like free money. But when it came time for him to cover things, he wasn't interested. The rumor was he left after 2 days, telling her, "I didn't sign up to babysit your finances." She was stuck in another country with no money, no support, and no way to pretend everything was fine. Her Instagram posts dried up. The first day, she was posting poolside selfies with captions like, "Finally living airplane palm tree sparkles." By day 3, nothing. Total silence. When she finally came back, I didn't see her. But people talked. She had to call her mom to wire her money just to get home. And everyone knew why. The same friends she used to laugh with, the ones she bragged to about being with a predictable guy, started telling the story behind her back. Not to defend me, but because they loved gossip. And the gossip was brutal. She got stranded in Cancun. The guy ditched her. She was begging people for cash. For someone who thrived on attention and appearances, humiliation was the worst possible punishment. And I didn't have to lift a finger. The text started a day after she got back. At first, she tried to play it cool. "Lena, so, I guess you froze the cards. Bold move. Lena, we need to talk. Don't ignore me." I ignored her. The next day, the tone shifted. "Lena, okay, I get it. You're mad. But you didn't have to leave me stranded like that. Do you know how dangerous that was? Lena, I thought you cared about me. Guess I was wrong." That one almost made me laugh. I left her stranded? No, she stranded herself. When silence didn't work, she tried guilt. "Lena, you're really going to throw away years together over one mistake?" "One. Lena, I only went because you never take me anywhere. You pushed me into this." Then came the calls. Dozens of them. I blocked her number. She wasn't done. A couple days later, I got a message from a mutual friend. "Hey, Lena says she just wants closure. Can you meet her once? She's really upset. I told him no. Then her mom called. A woman who had never once hidden her disdain for me. I don't know what you did to my daughter, but she's a mess. Be a man and at least talk to her. I hung up. Finally, one night, there was a knock at my door. I opened it to find Lena standing there, eyes red, makeup smeared. Can we please talk? She begged. I didn't move to let her in. Talk about what? She wrung her hands. I messed up, okay? I got caught up in the moment. You're good for me. You've always been good for me. I didn't mean for it to go that far. I kept my face blank. You stole from me, Lena. You lied to me. And then you mocked me for not being exciting enough. What exactly do you want me to say? Her voice cracked. That you'll forgive me. That we can move past this. Please. I don't want to start over. I want us. For the first time, I realized she wasn't really crying for me. She was crying for what she lost. The stability, the safety net, the man who never let her fall. But that man wasn't standing in front of her anymore. I leaned against the doorframe, arms crossed, while Lena stood there with mascara streaks down her cheeks. Lena, I said slowly, you didn't mess up. You planned this. You bought the tickets behind my back. You laughed about me with your friends. You called me boring. None of that was an accident. She shook her head frantically. No, it was stupid. I was just insecure, I guess. I wanted to feel something exciting for once. But you're the only person I trust. You're the one I want to come home to. I felt nothing. Not anger, not hurt, just done. You already made your choice. Now you get to live with it. Her lip trembled. So that's it. You're just going to throw us away like I'm nothing. No, I said calmly. You threw it away. I'm just walking away from the wreckage. I closed the door. The sound of her crying on the other side lasted a few minutes, then silence. That was the last time I saw her in person. In the weeks that followed, word spread fast. Mutual friends told me the trip she took wasn't just a getaway. It was a group of women hopping from bar to bar in Mexico, doing shots with random guys and bragging about their freedom. Apparently, she ended up maxing out her own credit cards after I cut her off. And when she got back, the guy she'd been harmlessly flirting with, he ghosted her. She tried to spin it as just a phase, but people stopped buying her excuses. Meanwhile, I thrived. I'd already canceled our joint lease and moved into a new apartment, smaller, cleaner, mine alone. I started running again, picked up overtime shifts, and reconnected with people I'd neglected while carrying her weight. Funny thing is, once I stopped worrying about being boring, life actually felt exciting again. Not because I was chasing chaos, but because I had peace. Months later, I heard through the grapevine that she was still trying to get into clubs with the same girls, posting girls' night photos like nothing happened. But the comments on her pictures told a different story. People calling her out, mocking her, asking what happened to the perfect boyfriend she used to brag about. I never responded. I didn't need to, because by then, I wasn't even thinking about her anymore. She wanted reckless adventure. She got it. I wanted respect. And I finally had it by walking away. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button. What do you think about this story? Share it in the comments.